Hey guys, so now I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to put together my mango fruitcake. So I have everything ready to go. I have my whipped cream that's already pre-made. I showed in another video how I made the staple whipped cream. Essentially, it's just 1 cup of heavy cream per 1 tablespoon of pudding mix. I also put some in a Ziploc bag and cut it in to add it. I'll show you guys what we're going to do with that. Okay, so... and I have my sponge cake. So what I did, I just leveled it and then I cut it into 4 layers. I'm gonna make a 4-layered cake. And then I have some fruit that's cut out. I diced some strawberries and I diced some mangoes. So these are gonna go in my cake layers. And then for the top, I have some fruit that's ready. These are some grapes that I cut into like a star-shaped form, and there's some strawberries that I cut into that also. And then I took blueberries for the top. And then I took some of the mangoes, and I don't know if you can tell, but I sliced it into really, really thin slices. We're going to use that to assemble some roses to put on top of our cake. So now I'm going to try to angle this differently so that you can see me make my cake. Hang on. Alright, so here's my cake board. So first thing I'm going to do, take some whipped cream and put it on the bottom of the cake board. This is going to act as the glue. It's gonna hold our cake down to the cake board. There you go. Gonna add the first layer on. Trying to make sure that's in the center of the cake board. Alright, there we go. So now what I'm gonna do is just grab some whipped cream. I'm using an offset spatula. I like to use it to try to help me get a nice even layer on the cake. So you just go around and try to spread out the whipped cream. Just starting out with a very thin coat because I'm still gonna stack it with the fruits. And then what I'm also doing is I have some homemade strawberry jam that I'm gonna add to the cake too. I don't have a lot left, so I can't be generous with it. Just a really thin coat of this. Probably so thin that you can hardly notice that I even have any jam, and I usually put at least twice as much so that way you can tell that I have jam in my layers. So now, the whipped cream and the Ziploc bag. What you're gonna do is you're just going to pipe around the edges to create a border. So the purpose is so that when you're adding your fruits on, the fruits doesn't slide out of the cake. So now I'm just going to start putting my fruits on. I'm going to get a really big slice of mango there. I did not dice that mango well enough. Okay. And there's some strawberries too. You can really add any fruits that you want onto the layers in your fruitcake. I like to use strawberries and mango for this one because it's a mango cake. If you really just want to do mangoes by itself, you can do that too. I just like to have some color variety when I'm cutting into my cakes. So just try to add enough into all the gaps. And then what I do is I kind of just press it in so that it creates a nice flat layer. So that way when you're stacking your cake, it's not lopsided. Okay. Alright, so there you go. Definitely feel free to add more fruits if you like. I usually stack a little bit more fruits in this, but I'm starting to realize that I did not dice enough fruits to go through all the layers. So now what I do is I just put some whipped cream on top, take my offset spatula, and I'm just going to try to cover all the fruits up to finish the layer. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to make sure that the layer of fruit and whipped cream stays flat. Because if it's not flat, then you're going to end up with a cake that's lopsided. I do that a lot. Not on purpose, but I do that a lot. So there you go. So now we're going to add our next layer on. It's pretty much repeating the same step throughout. And then I kind of like to press down on this cake to make sure that it's still nice and flat. Because if you're anything like me, you make lopsided cakes. So that's how I try to keep myself from making lopsided cakes. I repeat it again and again, but I'm no professional baker. I'm just an amateur, I'm just an experimenter. I just like to show you guys how I do my cakes, because I get a lot of questions about how I bake them, about how I assemble them. This is how I do them. Alright. That's done. And now the layer of jam. Don't you see that? I don't have a lot left. I made this strawberry jam for another cake. And I had that left over. I don't want to waste it, so that's why I'm using it again for this one. But as you can tell, I don't have a lot left. But just enough to try to give it some color. Alright, there we go. And the same thing. Pipe around the edges. And then add your fruits on top. Alright. So I'm gonna just pause it. I'll come back when the cake is all done because I got this layer to finish and I have another layer to go. So I'm gonna end up with 4 layers of cake and 3 layers of whipped cream and fruits. Okay, I forgot to turn the camera back on after I was done stacking the cake. So I already finished stacking the cake.
Okay,
so,
Mom.
Yes, honey. Thank you. Okay. So I already finished stacking up the cake. And I have 4 layers of cake and 3 layers of the whipped cream. So, honey.
Hi.
Don't, oh my gosh, honey, don't climb the table. Don't climb the table.
But I tried to hide you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, honey, thank you. Sorry. I always have my special guests in the background. So, I'm going to start assembling the cake now. Let's see, let me get some stuff ready. Okay. So, I'm going to get the whipped cream together so we can pipe the borders. Okay, so what I like to do, I have my piping bag here. I have the tip. So what I like to do, so that I can reuse the disposable bag and not make so much dishes, is I take a saran wrap and then I'm going to put my whipped cream on top. So I already took some whipped cream and I flavored it with mango and I added yellow dye. I used the same mango extract from earlier with my recipe for the mango sponge cake. And then just a yellow dye. So just trying to scoop up every last bit. There we go. Okay. So now once that's in, you just wrap it up in the saran wrap. Okay. And then I just roll it around to close it. And then at the end, I just cut the end off. And then stick it into the piping bag. There we go. So that way, when you're done, you could just pull out the saran wrap. And then your piping bag is clean for the most part. Alright, so now pause the video so I can get you guys a better view of the cake so I can show you guys how to decorate the top. Okay, decided to show you guys how to do the bottom first. Hopefully I have you guys an angle where you can see. So decided for this cake I'm going to do rosettes. So swirl around. There we go. So just take it and swirl. There we go. You just keep repeating throughout the cake. Kind of mess up the last one there. Okay, there we go. So let me angle you guys to the top where I'm going to start working on. Alright, so now we're going to do the top. So for the top, I don't think I'm going to do rosettes. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. But I'm just kind of trying to figure it out as I go. I'm going to pipe borders with this one instead. Because I'm planning to make flowers on the top. I felt like if I did rosettes on the top also, it might be too many flowers. Doesn't look perfect. Alright. Definitely does not look perfect. Look how I messed up the end there so much. Try to figure it out as we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna start stacking. Start with strawberry. I'll just put it down there. And then I'm gonna take those thin pieces of mangoes and I'm just going to curl it around. Oh, that one's not any good. Curl it around. Try to make a flower with that. So, pretty much just take the mango, the thin slices, and then you just curl it around each other. That should get you a flower. Give me one second. I'm having a hard time trying to take the thin slices off. Alright. Not very easy. Hang on. Alright. So here's one of my tricks. When I have to get to a very specific spot that I can't with my fat fingers, I have a tweezer that I get specifically for this. So I take it so I can help grab the ends and try to make a prettier flower. So, one more slice. I don't know if there's a tool that actually does it, but I use a tweezer and the tweezer works for me, so that's what I'm doing. Okay. I'm accidentally pulling up pieces of the mango with the tweezers. Do not intend to do that, but that's what's happening. So there you go. There goes my There goes my mango flower. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there we go. And then I just kind of stack as I go. Oh no, look what I did. Clumsy little me. This is what I mean by I'm very clumsy. So not all my cakes turn out perfect. Because I'm very clumsy. My husband hates that about me. Well, I don't know if he hates that about me, but I'm always knocking things over and dropping things. So he always has to watch over me. But that's what happens. You get to marriage, you have to deal with the other person's faults. Anyways, I'm just stacking more things. So I just took one of the grapes and I just put it down. So still not 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm just stacking it up as I go, seeing what looks good and what doesn't. Maybe this is going to turn out good, maybe this is not, and maybe I'm just going to keep dropping fruits everywhere. Okay. Take a strawberry, stack it here. Let's see if I can angle you towards my view. That's probably a little bit better. Okay. So I think I'm going to make another mango flower right there. So take the mango and curl it up. Oh, this is so much harder than I thought it'd be. The truth is, this is my first time trying to do the flowers with the mangoes. I haven't actually done this before, but it looks easy. Starting to see it's not as easy as it looks. Again, like I always tell everyone, and like I'm always saying, I'm just an experimenter, not a professional. Alright. There's probably an easier way to do this. I'm sure there is. And I'm sure those of you who's watching who's already done this before is probably laughing at me right now because I am making this so much harder than what it needs to be. But you know what? My rose looks like a rose, so that's what matters, right? Alright. There, see? It looks like a rose, right? Right? It looks like a rose. Alright. So we keep stacking. Fat rose, but it's a rose. Okay. I hope this looks good. I hope you guys think this looks good. Alright. Another mango rose. Okay. Oh Lord. I don't know how people do this because the mango is quickly coming apart for this one. Okay. Try to fix that. Tweezers really come in handy for this. This rose is not looking really good. I think my problem. I'm gonna take the middle out and redo the middle. I think that might be my problem. Okay, so I just curled up another one. I dropped it in the middle because it did not look good. So I'm just taking the tweezers. I'm just pulling together the slice of mango to make it look more like a rose. Okay, one last layer. Okay. All right. It's as good as it's gonna get. More blueberries to hide some of the empty spots and hide some of the flaws. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to find some empty spots and add blueberries there. Guess that part looks good. Well, how does that look, guys? Not so bad, right? I think it doesn't look that bad. So the middle looks a little empty. So when my middle looks a little empty, I like to add some pearls on top. But I would do that in the morning because it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm just now making this cake. And if I put in my sprinkles on the top, it's going to melt onto the cake. I learned that the hard way. So that's what I'm going to do in the morning. I'm just going to throw some sprinkles in the middle so it doesn't look so empty. What I also do is, what I'm going to do after I finish this video is I like to make a glaze to put on top of the fruit so it doesn't dry out, especially the strawberries. So I don't have the glaze ready. I just realized that after I started filming that I forgot to make my glaze. So pretty much all it really is I take some apple juice, I boil it down, add some cornstarch to make it a little thick, and then I just take a brush and brush it over my fruits so that way it doesn't dry out. Alright, so now I want to do the bottom, decorating around the bottom. So try to angle it. I don't know. I might just leave the bottom this way. Maybe I should decorate it. What do you guys think? I think I might just leave it alone. Doesn't look that bad, right? Here's the top of the cake. Alright guys, so there's our mango fruit cake. Hopefully you guys enjoy that tutorial.